What is going on, guys? We are back with another video today, doing another rebuild on Madden 23, this time of a better team, obviously, in the Buffalo Bills, a team that a couple weeks into the regular season, we're all thinking, let's end the season now. It's the Bills' Super Bowl to lose, and even come playoff time, it still felt like that. But even though every team, there's no one team that's like, oh, we're the only one that's injured, no one else is. While that, isn't the case, the Bills did catch some really bad injuries, especially on the defensive side of the ball. I know there's teams that were more injured than them, but as far as like playmaker, superstar level injuries, specifically on one side of the ball, could you say there was a team that had more big injuries than them? I don't know. Poyer, Hyde, Trey White, Von Miller, all missing significant time. I don't know. I feel like they might have had taken the cake. And was AJ Klein, he's still in the league? What? Wasn't he a Panther? I don't even know what's going on. But of course, looking at what the team needs and looking at what the team does well, obviously Josh Allen, for a while there, looked like a runaway MVP candidate, and things slowed down a little bit, and a little more turnovers, and some other guys starting to put their names in the hat. Of course, Diggs, he's him. At this point, I feel like 97 is the lowest he should go. Gabe Davis, talking about some injury concerns there as well. People thought he was going to have a huge year, right, after last year's playoffs. It's kind of weird to say last year's because technically last year's is this year's now since we're past the playoffs. Super Bowl's over. Really strange to say, but didn't really take that step, but he wasn't terrible either. Cook, the running backs, they played all right. What the hell? Why is his face like that? But they played pretty well. James Cook, they look like they have something there in him. Knox was okay. O-line is a concern. Deion Dawkins is like the only decent lineman here right now. And even on top of that, it's an old offensive line. So it's like they really need to work on this, protect their asset in Allen. They already run him into the ground, physically running with him. Might as well at least keep him healthy when he's in the pocket, when he's not really expecting to take a hit. Otherwise, he's going to get hit all the time. And then, like I said, on the defense, we talked about the injuries. If Von Miller can stay young enough here for us and not regress too hard, this is a defense with injuries off in a rebuild that should make it very hard for teams to score on us. I'm not sure what I want to do for the plan of this rebuild. I think I kind of just let it dictate. If I win a Super Bowl year 1, I'll do 2 more seasons. But if we win a Super Bowl like year 3 or 4, that might just be the goal, right? This should be a quick rebuild team. And if it's not, I'm going to be disappointed in myself because realistically, what do we have to replace? I will say safeties worry me because they are on the older side, but outside linebacker, DT 1 and 2 potentially is Ed Oliver. He's not the greatest. He hasn't really lived up to the potential yet, where you have some guys like, Jeffrey Simmons, Quentin Williams, some of those types, Dexter Lawrence that have taken that step this most recent year, and he really hasn't, It's like that window's kind of closing to where it's like, it may never happen, and then obviously the trenches on the offensive side of the ball, O-line needs to be fixed, simply put. And wow, the Chiefs really have themselves a Super Bowl here, 61-21 in this sim. So we have $34.4 million to spend, and Tremaine Edmonds, I knew Poyer would be on the list. He also regressed really hard. Obviously, Tremaine Edmonds is a guy that I really want to keep, but we're only going to get one shot at this. Thankfully, he is interested. I don't want to blow this, so I think a 5-year 60 is good for me. Although I will say in real life, there's a good chance that he asks for a lot more than that. I don't know if they're willing to pay him. They got a lot of other upcoming free agents coming up. Poyer, that's a tough one, dude. Like, what is he worth? Like a 2-year 27 maybe? It's top tier money, but it comes down to how many years can you agree with him on. And I know it's like Micah Hyde's injury concerns lately. You're going to potentially lose 2 if you don't think Micah Hyde can withstand, much more years. They're both on the older side, but I will say Poyer is a great player, but man, dropping off 5 overalls and having red interest, that's almost unworkable at this point. And there are some really good value, well, maybe not value picks, but important veterans here. But from a Madden rebuild standpoint, you pretty much have to let the rest of these guys go as they're just not going to provide much value for us. We also lost a few players here to retirement, but no one that's really like a significant starter. But I think it's important to look at the future contracts, decide on what we want to do in this offseason, as you have Ed Oliver, being a free agent next season. If he doesn't have a really good year for us this year, we maybe let him go. Micah Hyde, I think, with the regression, he didn't really regress as hard as Poyer, thankfully, but 89 overall, gonna be 33. I think, he's got to go. Jones, I wonder if we can get rid of now. I know we don't want to get rid of too many DTs, but if we can save some money, which we cannot, that would have been preferable. But, of course, he is going to be gone after this season, so won't count against us for next season. But if we can get rid of anyone that's worth a lot of money and just isn't even a starter, it would be, nice. And, of course, Gabe Davis, hoping he has a decent year. We can maybe give him a 15 per deal. And, yeah, as far as, releasing guys now goes, I don't think that's going to happen. So what we have now is what you're going to get. Free agency, I can't imagine spending more than, 10 mil. So, maybe depth pieces as far as, a true starter, I don't think you're going to land one here. And look at Philadelphia. They are bleeding. All right, we are in the draft. I'm having a hard time on what I want to do here. I was trying to get DT, but it doesn't really seem like that's going to be an option here at 28. And there's a lot of other decent DTs later, so we're going to wait, I think. But we really do need line, like we talked about. And this Avila guy, he must be new on the list here, looks really good. I mean, that's really solid-looking player. If we traded down, we probably land him, maybe one of the safeties I have here with Christopher Smith, Jamie Robinson, maybe Martin, or even Trey Dean later. But a guy like Antonio Johnson being there right now is also really good value. I mean, we need a lot of different positions, so I think because of that, we're going to try to trade down maybe 10 spots and see what it lands us. Maybe the Browns are the perfect team here even. Seattle's going to give us 37, 84, and 180, which I think is super fair. So we are going to take that. And what do they get? That's, 9 spots up. They get a wide receiver, and it's not Quentin Johnson, which is... he was there, wasn't he? Johnson was literally just sitting there. He still is there. Anton Harrison is there, too. Noah Sewell would have been a nice pick, too. DeJuan Jones. It's a lot of options here, but I think, like I said, I don't know. This guy's new on the list. I updated Bengals class, and I haven't used this yet, but an A pass block, A run block is very hard to pass on, so I'm going to be taking him. Steve Avila, and he is hidden, so that's nice to see. 88 strength, 72 speed, 79 excel. That's a winner. Simple winner. You're trading up 7 spots, giving up a 4th next year to the Dolphins. Obviously, we're a team that is projected to do pretty well, so I think that is kind of what the going rate would be there. Christopher Smith goes, obviously, and with the other options not being as great looking, Jamie Robinson looks better. He is a little bit bigger as well, so I don't really mind him over Christopher Smith anyways. A finesse move. What the hell? Either way, we're going to grab him. And another hidden. Usually in the, the real-life classes, no matter who makes them, once you get into the second round, it's starting to get to the point where it's like, okay, maybe you're not going to get many hiddens. But so far... Oh, wow, Jervon's that low. He must be falling. It's starting to get to the point where it's like, okay, maybe you're not going to get hidden, but yet, here we are. We got a hidden again. And I think we're going to keep moving on until we're down to either Mike Morris or Benton. And then O-line, I would like to get at least 2 more. We might be able to pull off 3 more if we're lucky, as Patterson would be a great name, and then either Cohen or Bass. I don't know if we're going to be able to get many. I want 2 more linemen and a DT, and I'd be pretty happy if that's how the draft finished for us. We're going to use a 6th-round pick this year to move up 5 spots with the Packers for Mike Morris as Benton goes. And Green Bay is obviously a team that definitely needs... a big body on the D-line, so, trying to get them off that spot. There's other guys here anyways, but bad finesse, but great tackle, great power move, great block shed. Mike Morris, little weaker than I would like to see, but at 290, 6'6", we're going to play him on the inside anyways, and that'll be our first normal. 83 strength, not great, but it's not terrible. Kind of giving me Basham vibes, ironically enough, just a little bit bigger. I don't know if he's actually going to be the day 1 starter for us, but I suppose probably makes sense. And I just have a feeling that Patterson's going to go. But once again, with the lacking of draft capital and the amount of linemen we still have left, we can land at least a tackle and a guard. I think we should wait until one of them's gone. I'd probably rather have Bass at this point. Don't know if he's still a star or not, but he looks pretty good, and I'd be willing to go for him, I think. And Bass goes right there. We're going to go one more pick. Of course, Cohen goes as well. But at that point, it was so close. There's no point for me to trade up. It's just, it's that close. At this pick, though, I suppose I'm going to go with Tyler Steen, who has, very good potentials, and he looks decent. And he's hidden development traits still, which is nice. I say still, but there's like a bunch of right tackles that are all really similar in, range of where they go. And this might be a little bit of a trade up that costs us, but I think Patterson is worth it. A late third guy that I don't know, but I think he's hidden, I think is worth it. So I'm going to trade up a third next year plus a fifth and a seventh. That's a lot, but at that point, even then, especially the Bengals, who is like one of the direct competitors of this team, I don't even know if they would take that, honestly, but they're taking that risk that this is a guaranteed late third, whereas if we kind of suck in real life, it could be an okay third next year, but really kind of depends. The Bengals, obviously, kind of focus on winning now as well. It is what it is. It's a trade that, had decent value attached to it. Mr. Jaret Patterson is going to be the choice. Welcome to the team, buddy. 22 as well, and he's normal now. All right, that's a bad sell. I thought he was hidden. He wasn't. That's a sell. That's a sell. We did land 3 linemen, though. 2 guaranteed starters, at least. And then here, late 4th. What do we even have? I couldn't trade up anymore, so I just didn't even bother. Yes, Diabate is still there. And the reason why I'm so happy is I've never had him before. Always put him on my list. Welcome to the outside linebacker spot. Mohamed Diabate, 87 speed, 89 excel. Athletic guy. We take it. And, of course, if we can get one of those remaining linemen at 3 in the 5th, that'd be great. I think at this point, if I have any, excess players, if I have to trade up, I will. Hopefully they're there still. Quarterback to the Chiefs. Obviously, retirement recently. So, Zure goes. I don't know. Once again, Jaret Patterson, he's normal now. I think with this pick, we're going to go with another lineman, Dante Bull, who looks a little bit, not the greatest, not the strongest, but good enough to take. And hidden development trade. Okay. He's better than Patterson, tell you what. And we trade Spencer Brown to the Eagles for 2 7th-round picks, which, at this point, we don't need him, and he's already 25. His potential's kind of gone. And, I seen running back. I was like, no shots. Of course, with 2 wide receivers being there and only 1 running back, I think McBride is the guy we take now. A lot of potential, super strong, 91 speed, 92 excel with pretty good trucking and stiff arms. So I imagine that's a pretty good pick, pretty good trade. And then 31 of one of those wide receivers is there. The speedsters, we'll take them. If not, I don't actually know. If not, I don't have a game plan. So hopefully they're there. Oh, they're both there. All right, I don't even remember who's faster, but I'm just going to go with whoever's faster. I guess they're both 4.32. I guess I'll go with the guy that's a little bit taller. Wait, 15 and 10. And then for the other drills, Smith is... he's way faster. Never mind. Smith, 96 speed, 97 excel, decent change of direction. And that'll conclude the draft. Not a bad-looking group. Obviously, I don't know the overalls, but we did land, about half of them hidden? We absolutely take that. And what are those overalls? 74, 72, 73, 72, 72, 67, 69, 71, and 68. Some low 70s, but some pretty good players, fix up the trenches a little bit on both sides of the ball. And then obviously got ourselves a new safety who's hidden. So not a bad draft. I think you obviously at the start, all of the guys that have hidden development trade on the offensive line, and then make some other tougher decisions elsewhere. So outside of a punter, we didn't spend any money in free agency. However, we did land quite a bit of players that seem to have bright futures, with 3 hidden development trade offensive linemen, and Patterson being worse than before, but he's still decent. I also kind of want to I don't know if I want to trade Ryan Bates off. I feel really bad for Bates here, but we have better future players on the team. Morse he's the best overall, and we can't, get rid of him because it was Penn. Looking at all the other players, maybe running back needs to be replaced. I want to rock with James Cook. I want him to work, but it is Madden after all, so if he doesn't get a dev up or he doesn't do well, we might have to replace that position. No one's irreplaceable really in the league. And then defensively, Diabate may need to be replaced. Morris, we'll see how it works out for him, but he has a pretty high ceiling. And then Von Miller, we're just hoping doesn't regress hard. Because really, I mean, there's not a whole lot of players that we need to upgrade on this team. And, you know, being a good overall early on in the rebuild isn't a super common thing for us. So we could go on a run early. Oh, okay. We're kind of broke. I would say, assuming Gabe Davis is playing adequately, we would be wanting to pay him the most out of everyone, which it appears he is playing adequately. So $15 million per year over 3. I'd probably do a 4-year deal worth 62.8. Nice. $12 million left. Ed Oliver wants about all of that. Has he earned it? And he has not. So see you later, partner. Greg Rousseau with the DevOps Superstar Development Tray Edge Rusher. Let's go. Time to go into the playoffs and see if we are a part of them. And we are not at 9-8. We did not have a great season. Of course, Josh Allen isn't really we. He's the whole team, and you know he needs some help. Look at the start we had. 3 for 3, then 4 and 3, 4 and 4, 5 and 4, 5 and 5, 6 and 5, 6 and 6, 7 and 6, 7 and 7, 8. Like, we literally won the entire season outside of, you know, the first couple of games. And then it was just win, loss, win, loss, win, loss. What a disaster. Near the end of the season, I did change to the Falcons offense, and it didn't seem to do anything, so I might go back to Buffalo, even though the Buffalo numbers are probably going to be terrible anyways. Josh Allen, good yards, touchdowns. You would like a little bit more than that, especially if rushing numbers are lacking, which I don't know if they are or not. We're about to find out. 11 interceptions and 63% completion percentage, a little bit lower than I would like to see that at, and James Cook was awful. Touchdowns are great, but everything else was awful. Could see all three of these guys go, well, maybe not Diggs, go up in Dev. Knox was decent. Offensive line was pretty bad, especially for Bull, but obviously he's young. Von Miller with 16 sacks, only 9.5 from Rousseau, 7 for Mike Morris, and then Ed Oliver, clearly just not worth the money. Trey White and Johnson combining for 7 sacks in the secondary, and Diabate did not play that much, but he did have 2 interceptions. And then Bass only missing 1 kick. I tried to sign him back, but he's wanting more than $4 million per year, which, with how tight our money situation is, I don't think we can play that. As far as the award wins go, I can't really imagine we would have had much, if any, and you could see here, that's the case. Chiefs versus the Packers, yeah, I'd sure love to see it. Chiefs going to win another one? They're going to win another one? Going to win a third, and they do. Let's take a look if we had any dev-ups, hopefully some offensive players. We sadly did not a single player on offense. And then defense, surprisingly, Greg Rousseau went up in dev. He was only a superstar. He goes the X Factor. Morris didn't go up in dev, which is a super L, because he actually had a pretty good year. But we did see Tremaine Edmonds go up, and Diabate. So, you know, Edmonds with that contract, seemingly worth it, right? He went up in dev. That's not an easy thing to do. And then the linebacker, Muhammad. He's now a star development trait player with, you know, some youth. So looking at what we need to replace, obviously a safety, obviously a DT. Johnson went up in dev too. Even he went up in dev. 28 years old though, but star development trait. Maybe he can get to superstar and keep himself around longer. I don't know. But yeah, offensively, maybe another lineman. Running back wouldn't hurt if we see someone in free agency or a really good player in the draft. And then obviously a DT and safety are the needs. But nothing crazy. I actually didn't see if they even showed the regressions yet, what Von Miller dropped to be fair. If he's even here, he actually could retire. You do see 35 is kind of the point where non-quarterbacks, there's a decent chance they retire at any given time. Once you hit 35, it's like a GG. Bunch of Ravens are gone there, and Roger Saffold is gone, but Vaughn is not. It says we have 37 mil to work with, so we could keep Ed Oliver if we wanted to, but I just don't think it's worth it. I really don't. And Vaughn's still pretty good. He's a 90 overall. I think you replace Ed Oliver. I can see why they let him go to free agency a lot. Just not good for us. Like, he's just not worth it. 84 power move, 79 block shed. He's not bad, but at 26, asking for 12 plus per, especially since it's low interest, I believe, it's just like, what's even the point? Like, why even do it? Let's see what the contracts are, see if anything has changed. Micah Hyde might actually get the deal. We'll see. And then as far as Ed Oliver goes, his interest is high and we can keep us together, but we were 9-8. Do you want to? I don't know. So looking forward, we have to pay Dawkins. That could be a guy you let go because he'll be 31, but maybe 12 per year. Matt Milano will be gone. That's 13 million gone. Mitch Morse might be gone now. Johnson will be gone. Daquan Jones is gone now. I mean, you look at what you need to pay soon. Outside of Rousseau, you don't have a crazy amount of expensive guys. I think we can take those 2 contracts on. A 1 year for Hyde and then a 2 year for Ed Oliver. I think we can pull that off, and obviously gives us a chance, one more chance at least, to try and make something happen with this roster. Micah Hyde says no, which I don't know how. I mean, he's 33. We might still be able to get him back, though, and then Ed Oliver, he probably goes too. No, a 2 year 24, which is a bit expensive, but it is what it is. And then Tyler Bass, like I said, I tried to offer him a 3 or 14, and he said no. What's the tag's probably like very similar. 6 mils, a little high actually, but there we go. That's what we're dealing with, and we'll see if we can get rid of any other players to make things cheaper. As once again, this is a different type of rebuild. This isn't a rebuild where you slow roll it up. You want to get this team in that Super Bowl and win it right away. As obviously you got Deion Dawkins, we're talking about age-wise and contract-wise, they're going down. Diggs is regressing. Mitch Morse is going to be gone. Von Miller's a 90 overall. Milano's 100% gone. Johnson will 100% be gone. We need to win now. Nick Bosa is a win now type of guy, but he's also not an A need and B a guy that'll be in free agency. While Josh Jacobs could be, I don't know if I want to pay him. Derrick Henry, could you see the Titans actually let him go? I don't know, dude. He's like their whole offense. We'll decide what we want to do, but I really want Micah Hyde back, as he's obviously a very good safety, and it's only a 1 year deal, so it's not the biggest deal in the world, so you can live with it. Although you could go Xavier McKinney, slower, but same zone coverage already. Got a bit of a ceiling on him. How much is that? It's only 8 mil per on a 3 year. I mean, I'd be willing to pay that. I don't hate it. As much as I like Micah Hyde, we didn't win it with him, so maybe we can win it without him. And honestly, with the Titans going Tank Bigsby as their running back and Stroud, and they're kind of going young, I kind of think Derrick Henry being a free agent isn't the craziest thing in the world. Like, if they had no quarterback, I would say I'd say, nah, they should have kept him, and it's just a glitch that they didn't keep him. But with Bigsby and a young quarterback there, I don't know, dude. I think I'm going to give him the deal. What did I offer? So it doesn't even show, does it? Either way, I want these 2 players. I'm going to grab them, and they are both here. Derrick Henry is a Bill. Finally get to turn that around. It's not being punished. The Bills aren't being punished. They're going to be doing the punishing. We trade an expensive Hines to the Buccaneers for a 6th-round pick. It's not like I didn't want him, and now that he's not important, especially in the kick return game, it's just we are so broke. He saves us literally 4.6 mil automatically, which is massive for this team. Is there anyone else we could do that for? Deion Dawkins, obviously not really a question mark. Morris, if we find a better center, we actually probably will trade him. And then I don't even know where this guy came from. Must be a good special teamer. He's kind of being paid a lot, a lot of money for a guy that's not really that big of a contributor, it would appear. Greg Rousseau needs a contract. The 5th-year option is before that, though, and I think it's absolutely worth picking it up, as he's going to want a lot of money. Let's try to prolong that a little bit. So we have pick 16 in the or 17 in the draft, but I don't really have anyone that I need this moment. We're kind of just drafting for the future mainly, and I think getting more draft picks is literally the definition of drafting for the future. The Niners get to 17, which they will be taking a linebacker. And I have a cornerback that is actually still here. I don't actually know how good he is, though. Jermaine Glover. He's got good catching, good zone coverage. Man and press are iffy. He's not the fastest in the world. He's good speed, elite excel. This is a bit of a question mark player. A tackle, a hit power. If he's 21, I might do it. He is 21. Man, corner is hard to draft. Corner's hard. I could go with McCreary. If McCreary is faster, man, his speed isn't great either. He's got an A catch, though. I might trade down again. I kind of want to, obviously I want Hyde just because the value is there. I want Daniels because he looks great. Maybe Kemp because he's 2 to 3 talent. So I do have a lot of players I need to grab a little later anyways, but corner is a need now. Or, well, not now, but for next season. Yeah, we're going to trade down. I think McCrary is the better value. I mean, why not both? But, McCrary. Browns are going to give me 51, 77, and 109 next year. Obviously, the 51 is this year, but I think that's a pretty good trade. Moves us to, 17 still the highest. I'd like to go to, maybe 10 and then potentially trade up for Daniels. Oh, this is a very strange thing. Now I'm starting to think that maybe he's just a bust. It's pick 17, and he's still here. That 20-yard shuttle is awful, but it is intriguing. But he's still here at 17. And I kind of went down past where we were going to trade at 10, just because I don't know if I actually need... I don't know, dude. He skipped the combine. I don't know if that's good or not. It says skip, but it does say great speed and excel. This is obviously a pick to replace Vaughn in the future. A power move, A tackle. I think I'm going to take the chance on him. And maybe I should not have. I will say, 83 speed, 85 excel with 89 strength is very good for an edge. But, yeah, that might have been an L. And that corner's still there. We have pick 19. Do I just take him? I could still take McCrary later. Man, him being here still is not a good idea. I'm going to take him. I don't care. Glover. Normal. He is 91 speed, 95 excel, but the fact that he was still there kind of tells me he may suck. Chicago's going to give us a 5th next year to move 4 spots or something like that. I'll take it, and I think with this pick, we're going to be taking that linebacker Hyde, as he obviously looks pretty good with that round 1 grade. And if he ever wants to show up, where is he? Mr. Greg Hyde. A bunch of B's and an A and pretty athletic. And, I mean, I'm down. Obviously, I'm going to take him. Greg Hyde. Okay. And he's hidden. I think he's going to sit for the first year, but I think we have ourselves the Matt Milano replacement. So we trade a 3rd, 4th, and 5th next year with the Seahawks to get 74. Even that you could debate, depending on where the Seahawks see themselves as right now. If they're a rebuild team, if that was even fair as is. But I think it's fair in this situation. And I believe the trade up, I'm almost certain, even though Gervaisi looks great, is going to be for Kemp. I will say, though, yeah, he's a 2 to 3. We don't have the other guys scouted fully, though. This 2 to 3 could be nothing compared to Gervaisi, who could literally be around 1, because he has a lot of A's there, you could see. But also the run block sucks. So good awareness. I think Gervaisi is going to be great, too, but I think Caleb Kemp is a little bit safer, and he is a little smaller in height, so he fits better at center. So welcome to the team, and he's hidden. It's all I could ask for. Boom. We're good. I kind of want to trade up again because we need another lineman even maybe next season with Deion Dawkins. I don't know what I want to do here, though. We trade Mitch Morse and a 5th next year to the Bears for their 4th, which is obviously a high 4th. So that's kind of hopping 2 rounds and a whole year with Morse, if you will. So I think that's pretty fair. And as far as who we were going to go with, obviously, I passed him up. McCrary is going to be my guy. I still think we probably should have went for this guy over the guy we did. But I didn't get the full scout, so that zone coverage could be a D, which makes him bad. But A catch, I'm going to go for him. Jeromepkr. And I was right. Of course, I should not have went for the other corner, as he is completely irrelevant. And he was a mid-second round draft pick, whereas this guy is seemingly better, right? He's even more athletic. And we're going to trade our 3rd, I don't even know if this is ours, but pick 94 next year for 98 this year. That might be the last of our trade-ups. I just want to land one more lineman. Now, if this guy's normal, maybe I want to try another, but I was kind of looking at that guard, Wiggins, as he's 6'4", B pass block, B run block. I feel like maybe he could be a tackle for us in the future. He looks really good as a pass blocker in general. Welcome to the squad. And another hidden development trait lineman. I think we're set. I think we've had ourselves a pretty good draft outside of that 2nd round corner. I almost called him 1st round because we almost took him first, which would have been an even bigger sell. But I think we landed some pretty good players, and obviously we got some players for the future, and this quarterback might even be grabbable in the 6th. A bunch of Bs with decent throw power. What else do we have? Could go for another lineman. Stanley looks interesting. I'm just going to go to the next round and see what's up. The 5th, our next pick, really. I'm not going to trade up anymore. And the final players, Mike Bryce was decent. He's raw as hell, but 6'3", with a little bit of speed because of the 3-cone and the 20-yard. Also some vertical. And he's okay, but we grabbed a bunch of corners anyways. I actually think I'm going to go with the quarterback here in the 5th round. We don't really need a QB, but he's got a bunch of Bs, solid throw power. I think he's worth it. Normal development trade, 89, throw power. I don't know. I mean, you could use a backup quarterback. Our current backup, I think, is Matt Barkley. He's like 36. And, as far as who is going to be there outside of a trade down, I still think one of those fast wide receivers should be here in the 6th. If not, that's a little bit of a sell, but I think there should be one. And there is. Nice. Riddick, I thought we actually did sell. 5'8", 430, or 4.3, 4.340, of course. 95 speed, 93 excel. Pretty tame, but, you never can have too much athleticism. That was a large draft for a team that we only started with like 3 or 4 picks this draft, but trading that pick 17 down all the way to mid-second definitely helped us out a bit. And we still have the majority of next year's draft, so we're kind of cooking. 13.6 mil. Let's see what our overalls are. And, ooh. Okay, we landed some high overalls. Now, where the hell was McCrary? Is a 70 overall. Maybe he isn't better than Glover. I don't know. But, of course, Trevor Daniels, the future right end of this team, I would believe. 79 power move, 71 block shed. With his strength, even though he's only 266, could technically play DT, but I'm not going to do that. And Greg Hyde is already looking great. Probably, honestly, should start a little raw in the coverage, but probably should start over Diabate, but I'm not going to do that. We're going to let him sit. He'll be the starter next season. Let's see what kind of dev we have. Let's put him at 44. Why not? Superstar. Okay, it's been a little while. It has been a little while. So we're going to be trading in a superstar linebacker in Milano for a superstar linebacker in our rookie Hyde. Of course, this guy is going to be the automatic center just because he has the highest ceiling and only star. I can't imagine that, jumping ahead a little bit, that cornerback is going to be anything higher than star, to be honest. But we'll see. Very raw, I will admit, very raw. So that zone coverage was probably closer to a D, or maybe actually just was a D. Kind of looks like Trey White, actually. I kind of glanced at it and actually see, but what number? 20, why not? And he's superstar. Okay, that is a win. I did not expect that. So, yeah, Glover, as kind of expected after drafting McCrary, definitely a wasted pick. He is really good, though, and honestly, I'm probably going to just play him at safety. I don't know if he'll ever even play many snaps, but at least gives us some depth at the position, and with that zone coverage, should hopefully go up in overall. I'd actually see, did he? He's about the same, which is nice. Wiggins, potential future left tackle, another weak tackle. That run block finesse sucks. But, of course, good thing. Derrick Henry runs straight up the middle of the field, not to the sides, really. So that works out. What dev do we got here? Star. I mean, we got a couple of superstars that I did not. The linebacker I maybe kind of expected, but definitely not the corner. That is a steal. I never get that good. And, of course, the quarterback, 69 overall. You could use this guy. If you were starting, if this is a league where you don't have a quarterback, this guy you could absolutely use. And as far as the rest goes, I don't think there was anyone else I cared about. So let's... Oh, this is a generational cornerback that the Bears have selected. Not a huge fan of number 35, but let's change the number to something else, like 26, I guess. And wow, X Factor. All right, nice pick. All right, Season 2, definitely some youngsters adding again with Kemp being the center, and obviously these other 3 guys super young. But we added a veteran presence at running back, which if that doesn't fix the run game, I don't know what will. He's obviously a tank. I don't know how you stop him. Hopefully they won't find a way. Josh Allen and Henry with Diggs on the same offense doesn't seem fair. Von Miller may be replaced this next season. Like I said, 35, that's kind of the point where you just don't know season to season if a guy will retire or not. So hopefully he doesn't, but we do have Daniels awaiting his position start if he does. New free safety who's lower overall, but maybe a little more potential, definitely more longevity. And then a new cornerback 3 who's going to be great in the future. Hyde will replace Milano next season, but we do need Diabate to develop more as he's 23 and he will need a starting job next season anyways. And he is technically the better player right now regardless. But yeah, I mean, we're in a really good spot. DT, still a position to monitor, and Outside of that, just hoping for some overall upgrades for this O-line and the safeties. All right, 31 mil. Please don't be anyone big. I think we've already been over this. Like, we kind of know what's going on here. Milano, a 3 or 48. I mean, best of luck wherever you're headed. He's a good player, but we've got our linebackers set, I think. Diabate maybe not fully set, but we'll see. And then Dion Dawkins, we kind of have a replacement for, but if he's actually playing well, he's a pretty good lineman. Should we not just re-sign him? 12 sacks last year, 6 sacks this year. He's probably on par for about 10 or 11. I always say it, and I apologize if you guys have been watching a lot of my rebuilds over time. I always say it because I don't know, because the game doesn't really prove it one way or the other. I don't know if it's about sacks allowed or if it's about the overall of the player, because we see the best tackles in the game give a bunch of sacks, but you would think that if, as long as you have a good player there, it gives you a better chance to win because your overall's higher, right? I don't know. You let me know in the comment section below if you know the answer or you're just sick of me saying it. Just tell me, and while you're down there, maybe leave a like, maybe subscribe if you're new. If you're not new, appreciate you either way. And Jimmy Gillen, let's get a new punter. Or not a new punter. Let's re-sign the punter. A 3-year 5.7. That's not terrible. So 12 million left. And all of the replacements we need in place. Didn't even need Dion Dawkins, just chose him. Finally, a better season, but will we win the division? Let's see it. Let's see the division win. We did win, but so did the Jets. They take the division. I don't know if the Jets would have a bye week, but we take on Jacksonville, who's 8-9. You would hope. Wow, look at the name drops there. Non-real life names, and then Russell Wilson. But you would hope that we can beat an 8-9 Jaguars team. I don't know. It is Trevor Lawrence, so we'll see. But let's take a look at the stats. Tell me we had at least an okay season with Derrick Henry. Touchdowns are higher. Interceptions are lower. Yards, 4,800. Derrick Henry, that's a really good year. 19 touchdowns, 1,430 for yards, 5.3 yards per carry. Diggs went off. Dawson Knox is great. Gabe Davis was decent. And then Smith was okay. Looking at the blocking, Dion Dawkins, 10 sacks allowed. Bull with only 8, though. We like these numbers. These are great. Von Miller with 23.5. Rousseau with 20.5. Ed Oliver after the payday. Finally, we see something good after a payday. 13.5 for him. 8 for Morris. Could this be our year? The rookie McCrary with 4 interceptions. Sly was decent. Gillen was okay. McBride with a kick return touchdown. Could Josh Allen have won MVP? He did. That touchdown to pick ratio was solid, and he does win it. Diggs with the Offensive Player of the Year award. Vaughn with the Defensive Player of the Year award. No rookie award, sadly. Best quarterback. 3rd for running back. 1st for wide receiver. Did Patterson even play? Either way, 5th for O-line. 1, 3, and 10 for D-line. Linebacker not on the list, sadly. DB at 5. And then kicker, not on the list. But that is a lot of awards that we either won or were close to. Like we said, surely you can at least beat the Jaguars. Come on, dude. Come on. We have 5 overalls on them, and even that seems low. We're a way better team. All right, going to the end of the game. It looks like right to left is them, and if it is, defense went ham as the offense seemed to give them a bunch of opportunities. Right now it's 16-7, and like I said, this offense seems to be giving up a lot of possessions. Defense is trying its best. We are not up by a lot. There goes a touchdown, and that should be the win as we will take the 43-29 victory. What a weird score. That's got to be scoregami. There's no way. The scores we had in this one, it was so funky. There's no way. But, of course, looking at the numbers, Trevor Lawrence slightly outplaying Allen technically. Per completion percentage was worse from Lawrence, so in a way it's like Josh Allen may have thrown like a pick at, let's say, the 40-yard line or something, but Lawrence didn't get to the 40-yard line because of all the incompletions, you know? So it's misleading at times. Derrick Henry with a huge run. Other than that, the numbers weren't crazy great, but still we'll take our numbers over theirs, obviously. Receiving Smith was great. Kirk was great. Diggs was really good. Kirk and Diggs went toe-to-toe. Let's take a look at the defense. Mike Morris with some sacks. Von Miller with 2. And we're really hoping we can get Von Miller another ring here, at least with us. Get that legacy finished up. That'd be great. I think if we win a Super Bowl and Von retired, I would call it there. I really would. I just think that's the perfect end. And, you know, most of my rebuilds seem to be like over an hour long. It'd be nice to have a rebuild that's a little shorter for once. And by over hour long, I mean well over, not just barely over. You're usually well over. Look at slot, dude. It is so good of an upgrade. 4 to press, 2 to man. His zone sucks, but like that upgrade is insane. In the divisional, who could it be? Could it be the Jets? Because we'd be one of the higher seeds, right? So it could be the Jets. It's no. The Chiefs, bro. A titan of a matchup. Both teams 88 overall. We're catching the Chiefs at still a very good time for them, sadly. This could be an L. If we win this game, it'd be an AFC East championship game as the Jets have won their matchup. It's not that I'm worried about us scoring on them. I'm just worried about them scoring on us. As you can see, that did not take long for that 10-0 to turn into now 21-18. We really have sold this game. I mean, the opportunities the defense gave and the offense just can't do a thing. We're going -10s at a crack. Are we serious here? Oh my, that's a GG. I mean, this offense is it just couldn't. I guess I'm wrong. I mean, I guess I wasn't wrong considering we didn't stop them, but really, offense, how bad? I mean, BJ Ojulari with 4 sacks, 3.5 for Chris Jones. That's a joke. No shot, and Sly misses a kick for good measure. We're going to have a third season. Maybe it won't be a shorter rebuild. Maybe we won't even get a Super Bowl win at all, knowing the sim luck. I mean, it is an even matchup, yet it never felt like it. They just never did. There's no chance the Jets are in the Super Bowl. There is no way. To be fair, I actually didn't see who. They won a Super Bowl. I didn't see who got Herbert, and things are telling me things. You know what I mean? I feel like 17 points. Oh my God. No, Michael James. They got themselves a rookie quarterback, or a youngster, if you will. Wow. Okay, I'm sure of it, man. I'm sure the Jets took on the Chiefs, and then they smoked up on the Eagles. I'm sure all of these things are true. Wow, okay. We're going to get shown up by the Jets in this rebuild. Love it. Dalton Knox is a superstar. About damn time he joined the crowd of elite players on this offense. I mean, this is one of the best offenses in the league, if not the best, and yet we were struggling. I don't know what else to tell you. I'm just hoping Von Miller's still here. You know, obviously right now he will be. DevOps, I do not see any, sadly. Not even Morris. So no DevOps on defense, but we should have enough juice for one more go at least. You know, obviously we'll try to do, I think we'll do 5, but you know, if we can't win one now, I'm not sure how we're going to do it without Von and when some of these other guys start regressing. Like Diggs keeps regressing and Deion Dawkins and all that. And Von Miller's still here. We did see that he was an 88 overall. I would imagine that means that his regression already hit since he started the season as a 90, which, if that's the case, he is a special player. And he is. He's an 88 overall at 36 years old. And the regression wasn't crazy bad, as mainly to block shed, it would appear. Yeah, I mean, he's still really good, so here's to another season. Come on. So we have a draft pick in every round except for the 5th, and $26 million to spend. The main positional need is probably DT, as Ed Oliver is going to need another contract, and if he fluctuates in talent, we may pass on him. Taron Johnson is in free agency, obviously. Landon Dickerson is a superstar, which would be great, but I mean, our O-line is good. It's definitely not bad. I just don't think there's actually a positional need there that's worth it. A lot of superstar wide receivers here. I don't think there's a positional need here that we can really get. Sante Samuel would maybe be an okay corner, but I think the superstar we got can be fine. I think he's pretty good, and we are taking a little bit of a hit with him, though, so maybe do you want to try like a 1-year rental, which sadly, other than getting Taron Johnson back, doesn't seem to be the case. Yeah, maybe we should have signed Johnson back, especially if, once again, we're talking about this whole... Wait, what the... Oh, I was looking at the remaining cap. I was like, why is it going down? I'm trying to give him more money. And Tampa Bay may have sold us. And by may have sold us, I mean we may have sold it, him, because obviously he wasn't his choice to leave. Bradbury might be okay. Yeah, I think we might have sold a little bit, but starting a superstar corner, he could get to like 80, 81 in the long term anyways, by the end of the season, which... If you make the playoffs, equals the same thing. Oh, we are broke. Wait, how are we broke? What to say? What do you mean? That money calculates into it. Yeah, I think we're going to save money in free agency and just draft for the future yet again, unless you make a trade for a right now DT. Mike Morris wasn't bad, and I do like him for the future, but that's really the best I can do to make this team better. It's one of the best teams in the league, and we're just not getting the sim luck. Chiefs are good, but they're not that good. We traded pick 58 and Jeromepkr for Chidobe Awuzie, which I suppose he is younger than, Teron Johnson, and he's a little bit more athletic, and he's a little bit better in general. He's, did I say younger? They're like the same age, but superstar dev, I don't know about long-term, wise, but I do like, White, Chidobe, and then McCrary as the three guys. Maybe that's enough to try and stop a team like the Chiefs. There's not really much more I could do without, trading even crazier, which, even giving up a second-round pick is quite a bit for a 30-year-old corner. I think it was the best call, though. I'm not sure what we can do better with this roster, though. That's, in the realm of reality. It's just not much, so this is what we're dealing with. Draft for the future at positions like DT, and roll it again and hope this time we can beat the Chiefs. That's really the team in our way right now. We traded the Bengals 8 spots in the first round with a 4th round this year and a 3rd round next year, which will be taking a DT. He wasn't the greatest looking guy, but I don't have that much depth at the position. There's 2 guys, and one of them is not even really a DT. He's actually a defensive end. There's also this corner that looks pretty good, but corner's just not that big of a need. Another did not participate. Solid speed, which is iffy, but elite excel, you would assume at least 89, 90 speed, hopefully, but hopefully doesn't really, work anymore since I don't really care. It's really tough because obviously Humphries has a D tackle and Keaton has the A tackle, but once again, it's a different type of position. Maybe I shouldn't even have traded up at all, but I don't know. I actually really want Humphries, but the more I look at Keaton, it's like, well, this guy's kind of just speaking to us here. They're both 21. Great speed, great excel. Keaton may be the better option. You know what? I'm just going to go for the best available player. I probably shouldn't have traded up now that I think about it. You know what? We're gonna try to get our picks back if we can. Let's try to get our picks back. Ironically enough, it probably won't even matter because one of them are going to go soon anyways, probably. But let's go back to the Bengals and pretend like the trade didn't happen. I could have sworn that tackle was better than that. I did scout him more, so that's probably why. But can I have my picks back, please, if you don't mind? Is this the original trade? I completely forgot already. But if that is the original trade, they're actually willing to do it, which means that trade was clean out the gate. Boom. Thank you. Let's just pretend like that didn't happen, all right? Ironically enough, watch, they're gonna take them, and I'm gonna have to trade up anyways. They didn't. And they're both still there, which is nice. They're still there. I'd imagine Keaton goes first, right? I imagine Keaton goes first. Wow, talk about a sell from our part. They're both there at 26. Wow, we were about to sell. Okay, well, that's interesting. That is interesting indeed. Tyler Keaton is my choice. 278, DT number 1 in the future. Normal dev. Mike Morris looking. 84 speed, 86 excel, which is really impressive, actually. But I guess kind of the future at the position down the line. So I've seen day 3s go, late 3rd, and I don't know if Max Burnett is actually that great, but he's kind of giving me McCrary vibes again a little bit. So I'm going to take Max Burnett here. And another hidden development tray corner past the 3rd round. Well, it's 3rd round now, but you know what I mean. After the 3rd round starts and beyond. And he's even more athletic than McCrary. This is kind of getting absurd. I need to start paying attention to this round more. These 3rd and 4th round corners, obviously I haven't seen a corner that's looks that good potential-wise in a while. And we had 2 of them in this rebuild, but yeah, I got to pay attention to that more, and a late 4th for B.J. Harden, who is obviously a power back. He's pretty athletic, so we're going to grab him, B.J. Harden. And another hidden development trait player. I suppose he's now the number 2 running back on the squad. As Kaiir Elam, by the way, 5th-year option. Not going to pick it up, obviously. Maybe he gets re-signed as like a depth piece, but after that cornerback pick right there and the corners we already have, probably not. And then obviously Cook never worked out for us either, which is 2 unfortunate situations in this rebuild. Also, forget kicker. We actually need a fullback, I remember. Devin Gray, A run block. Looks pretty standard. Did we do enough? We didn't really add too much talent, but we kind of rotated talent a little bit and added more depth once again. Let's see what we got. So a 76. Oh my God, that's bad. But 76 overall right end, who's normal, sadly. Burnett, also 70 like McCrary. Harden's a 75, and then we don't talk about these guys. Actually, I will talk about the fullback. I'm kind of curious what his run block is. 71 run block with 83 strength. Not bad. It's actually not bad. And then Keaton will be the DT, I would imagine. So we'll move him there in a little bit. He actually looks pretty good. And then Burnett, like I said, very similar to McCrary. I mean, even the man to zone is like, the same kind of situation. I mean, this is kind of absurd. If he's also hit like a superstar, that is crazy. And he is. Bro, we actually landed like the same. So that must be like a special kind of archetype there is in the game. I don't know how much he'll start, but I guess I'll put him at number 2. I don't really have any better numbers. Wow, okay. I mean, we landed 2 superstar dev players kind of looking very similar in the draft as well. That, like I said, that has to be a kind of archetype or something, because we've seen 2 of them in one rebuild, let alone one, in recent rebuilds, but literally like 2 of them. And an X-Factor running back. Oh my. I mean, once again, now he absolutely will not matter. I mean, this rebuild will be over before he ever gets a chance to start, but that's still pretty cool. I also get to put it in the title as well. I get to put something like, we drafted an X-Factor or something. Drafted an X-Factor. What round even was that? Damn it, I forgot already. 4th round, was it? Maybe 5th? Regardless, I mean, that's fun. How much does it actually matter for this rebuild? I don't know. But it's still fun as hell. We kick back a 5th round next year, but we trade Kyer Elam to the Colts for a 3rd round pick. Obviously, that's a bit of a bad return on investment, but considering we have our cornerback set for the future easily, and it's crazy because Max Burnett makes McCrary look really bad, to be honest. Look at the speed difference. It's absurd. Catching, maybe a little bit worse. In fairness, hit power is a lot higher for McCrary. I mean, they don't look exactly the same, to be fair, but their builds, which kind of caught my eye, are definitely similar. That decent man with the B to D zone. You don't know what it is, and the catching's okay, but very interesting. Both 5'11", similar builds though. So definitely got to keep an eye out on that. And then linebacker, I wish we would have done a little bit better for ourselves. I kind of wish I would have looked at Davison because he was a guy that I thought was going to be decent. Here we go, year 3. The damn Chiefs are still in our way. Obviously, didn't change a lot for the actual frontline guys, but some depth. Obviously, Harden, an X-Factor running back. And then obviously another superstar corner, which, once again, we kind of talked about, might not be that big of a deal, as Awuzie might still be here a couple of years. I don't know what his contract situation was. I just knew we needed to do something for this season's corner. I'm not really worried about, oh, well, you just traded a 2nd-round draft pick for a corner that's like 30 and blah, blah, blah. Von Miller is going to die. He's going to retire, man. Trying to make the team as good as possible without completely collapse in the future, which I think we did well. Let's get on with it. Let's stop yelling at each other. Let's kiss. 77 million, but we have some names. I think we're fine, though. Looking at those names, assuming... Greg Rousseau. I remember signing him, not as the Bills before, and it was something like close to 75. So I'm going to do a 5-year 115, and he's going to just be happy with it. Yeah, buddy. I'm sorry I yelled. I was really loud. A 2-year deal worth about 40 for Mr. Trey White. Sounds good. Happy. I love you guys. You guys are great. 3 or 45 for Ed Oliver. I know that's a kind of a contract you see from him a lot, but oof. And of course, Awuzie, we did talk about this guy being... maybe a bit of an L because it could be a 1-year, what is it called, rental type of situation. And then Ed Oliver, he's playing like last year. I think I will keep him around, and he seems to be doing even better, debatably. Also, it's a strange one. Normally, he's not built to be a pass rusher. Normally, he's a block shedder, so could be even better than his normal self. Awuzie, we could afford him, but we have some superstars. I think, even though it may cost him in the end... I think I'd rather see how McCrary finishes his season. If he finishes at like an 82 overall, there's no point in keeping Awuzie. So we had a really good chance at the bye week, and instead, we might not even win the division. And with the win over the Patriots, we do, and we play them directly after only a 1-point victory. Look at Kirk Cousins. nearly breaking the yards record in a season. Holy. Of course, did not start the strongest, but just turned it around. I've had that Falcons playbook on since the late portion of that season. Was it the first season, actually? But regardless, let's take a look at the numbers. Josh Allen. Ooh, this isn't good. Okay, I mean, our numbers in general as a group have gone down. Knox could be an X factor. Gabe, doubt he's going to go to Superstar. Diggs down here as well. Like I said, didn't change anything, and the team is just as strong as ever. Not really sure what happened there. Pass rush, sack totals went down. Rousseau is great. Oliver, like we talked about, though, that's got to be Superstar. Mike Morris has been actually pretty good ever since he came in as a rookie. And then interceptions. McCreary with back-to-back seasons with 4 interceptions. Kicking slide was decent. Punting much better. And the kick return, punt return game, pretty tame. Award wins, I don't know if we would have had any other than maybe like D-line. Let's see if we had any, and it would appear we didn't. So, I mean, a lot less awards because we had none than last season, but still a really good season and even better win-loss than normal. 90 overall to the Patriots, 84. We got a halftime score of 14-7. Not quite the dominating performance I was hoping for, but they are in the playoffs as well. The Patriots, this division has been pretty strong and consistent throughout. You know, the scoring has kind of been the same throughout that game, and we just had more points in general. Mac Jones did not play well. Josh Allen was pretty decent. Rushing was good. Gabe Davis. If we were to like go a little heavier in the run formation, I wonder what would happen. Maybe that's what we do next season, assuming Derrick Henry's still here, which he should be. Maybe that's what we do next season if we fail to win a Super Bowl here. The divisional, come on. Somebody else take out the Chiefs. It is the Bengals, another decent team in fairness. We have their player. It sounded like I was about to say, I have your nose. The AFC really is a pain to deal with, but good defensive start. Another really good defensive start. We put up 14. Another good defensive play. They drove down the field, and then we took the ball away or something. Oh, touchdown there would have probably put it away. 24-7, 24-14, and a touchdown there will win it. Defense doing a great job in this one. Obviously, laxed a little bit here. As you can see, the Bengals were actually still kind of in it, but the start of that game was beautiful from the defense. But I do still worry about giving up a couple of touchdowns there when, the game wasn't over yet. Coming out, letting up a little too early, it feels like. But the pass rush was amazing. You could see Awuzie, the only pick in the entire game, and it was against his former team. Once again, the script writers, they go crazy. And who would have thought? They are lower overall than us this time. Last season, they were better. But this one, they're not. So they had the bye week, obviously. They beat Indy by only 6. I was actually going to trade for Buckner, but I realized he wasn't as good. McKee! He wasn't as good as I thought he was going to be. Gesicki's on their team. Ironically enough, he did have a sack. And then the division or the conference, all you have to do is beat those teams. The Giants or the Rams, they're not the strongest. Winner of this game may have themselves an easy Super Bowl win, which, getting ahead of myself because it's probably not going to be us. Once again, the better overall team. But last time we were same, and they beat us by like double, so who cares? Another road game against KC. Defense doing a really good job getting 3. Another 3. You need touchdowns against this team, though. And here it begins. 9-6, 16-6. Come on, offense. Oh, they get a field goal. This is a field goal battle, and now it is not. Come on, offense. You're so close to scoring. It's 19-16. Come on, D. And they just walk right down on us. 3 minutes left. The offense is moving. They need a touchdown. 3rd and 4. I don't think I need to come in. I believe in this team. Oh, my God. I don't believe in this team. From the 20. And they've got like 45 different run plays, by the way, which is just I don't know what we're doing here. Smith. Gabe Davis. Could he get a quick throw to Smith? I don't know if Josh Allen's he's got the throw power. I should be able to hit that. I do. And Smith puts it all the way down to the 1. And honestly, with it being 3rd and goal, unless you're expecting some crazy penalty, we're going against the Chiefs. We aren't the Chiefs. Well, I think you waste a little bit of clock here and call a timeout at 13 seconds. Don't give Mahomes 3 timeouts and like 15 seconds to work with, It's Derrick Henry time. Come on, guys. Up the middle. It's Derrick Henry time, baby. And Derrick Henry is him. Holy stiff arm, bro. Oh, my God. He's so much fun. Oh, wow. And I kind of let the AI do it. Obviously, we did help a little bit. Watch, they're going to get it. I'm coming in, dude. I ain't messing around. a freaking Hail Mary, or else we're in the Super Bowl instead of the Chiefs for the first time in like a damn decade. Come on. No, Lord, I'm playing back here. You just don't know. And it's like Kelsey with the hand on the ball. Doesn't matter. We forced Mahomes to 2 interceptions, and we have forced them to lose. It is our time, baby. Josh Allen wasn't great either, but he was technically better. Derrick Henry with that touchdown. Pacheco with a fumble. I don't know if we recovered it or not, but Richie James, of all people, of course. Just randomly, Orlando Brown got smoked. Who was it? Javon Hargrave to the Chiefs would be not fair, dude. With Chris Jones. Von Miller, 2.5. B.J. Ojolari, who killed us last game. We played in the playoffs against them. Same with Chris Jones. Kind of a tame one from us, but Von Miller, he's the killer. McCrary and McKinney with interceptions, and then kicking was perfect. Got to give it to Sly. He's been really good in this, in this franchise for us, this rebuild. The Super Bowl, who is it? Is it the Giants? Is it the Giants? It is the Giants. Definitely would have been the team that I thought was going to get there out of the two. What is their overall? They are an 86, which is pretty good. We did actually scroll, obviously, on the Giants, but I didn't pay attention to them, to be honest. So they beat Dallas by 4, they beat Chicago by 4, and then they beat the Rams by 17. Who knows? Let's see if it's us or not, or if it's them. Let's take a look at the, DevUps, if we had any. Knox didn't go to X Factor. I thought he would have, to be honest. And then defensively, I don't think there was a... Oh, no, Mike Morris finally gets the start of Element Trait, which is nice. I will say it kind of makes Keaton useless because we did sign Ed Oliver to a 3-year 47. But, hey, I'm happy that Mike Morris is finally getting that dev up. And here it is, bowl time. And, of course, super unfair, the Giants have Nick Bosa. Huge quick score after they scored. 14-7. 17-7, 17-14, come on, 24-14. This is a high-scoring Super Bowl so far. Halftime, we are only up by 3. We give up a freaking turnover, and we are choking beyond belief. Holy! Come on, offense, wake up. We need a touchdown. Thank you. 5 minutes left. You got to get a stop, and who coded this game? Like, who coded this game? All right, we got to make something happen. We need a miracle here. We need a miracle. Okay, Henry, it's block time. I believe Davis is on a deep crosser with Knox going to the outside. And Gabriel Davis drops it, dude. That was a great throw. So much pressure. I was feeling it. Who's even is that? It's Smith. Okay. I mean, I know the routes, I believe. Knox. The outside. Catches it, but doesn't get out of bounds, I don't think. Hurry up. Hurry up to the line, baby. Could be a quick throw to Riddick. Don't even know why he's in. I take it again. Knox, pretty good, and maybe a little overthrown. 119, obviously trying to save the 3 timeouts in case we don't get the onside, which obviously isn't super high percentage. And over the middle is Gabriel Davis who scores. Okay, we had to come in, but hey, what can I tell you? It's just the way it goes sometimes. We need to stop. This Bills defense is just constantly getting torched in these sims. I don't understand, but they just are. All right, lefty punter makes things crazy. We got a chance at a hit stick. Huge hit by McCrary, could you imagine? He does have decent hit power for a cornerback, but it will appear that the likely situation we'll be seeing is, at best, about a minute with no timeouts, maybe down 6. Morris, and oh my God, Ed Oliver. Mike Morris is good, but as far as the D-line goes, he's the worst, and I kind of saved us a little bit, I ain't gonna lie. There was some openings. Let's go with Mr. Morris. And they are gonna run it. Normally the AI tries to throw it on 3rd down. It might have just been because it was too long. And speaking of too long, they're gonna go for the punt. I guess we go, I don't know. Punt return middle might be the dumbest thing in the world, because if they don't have to worry about pressure, you might just, nail a perfect kick. Get out of the way, Burnett. All right, 80 yards for the touchdown, or about 50 or 60 for the field goal. I don't care that I have to come in, because the AI wouldn't manage the situation. They'd have one throw, 40 seconds are gone. So let's not do that. Also, I don't know if I would agree with the momentum is different, and that is a bad play by me. I should not have went for the rack catch. I want to go for the rack catch so I can catch it and then dive. And I just sold. That was a huge play that we just lost out on. And the momentum's still in their favor. I mean, this is a tough situation. Don't get me wrong. And there goes right in behind to Knox. The middle of the field for them is super susceptible. It is super bad. I'm sorry, Derrick Henry. It's not your time. It is not you, buddy. And there goes Diggs. Kind of ran out of time. Diggs can't quite get out of bounds. Spike it. We might have enough time to keep it in the middle of the field, but I would not trust it. I don't even remember who is who. Oh, no. Thank God. I went for the rack catch. If he catches that, we lose the game. With that knowledge, I kind of want... Now I do kind of want to just call it. They look like they're kind of, going to not let us have the outside. I just want a little bit more yards. Diggs? Not really open, but he gets there, and that's a lot closer. Now I think he just kicked the field goal. I may have done it. I had him too. Throw it away. It's field goal for the overtime. I had Gabe Davis, but I got excited. Joey Sly to tie it up and send us to OT. Come on, Joey. He hit it. Overtime. They're going to have to punt. Come on, offense. 3rd and 9. They get it. They're moving. And we win the Super Bowl. Holy, what a comeback. What a comeback. Obviously, I played a little bit of a part. Not the craziest, though. Yeah, not the craziest. It's not like I had to make, 15 stops and then, got 2 touchdowns, an onside kick. We just had to watch them, not cheat. Because if you sim it, sometimes they just get, billions of first downs. But us going in there, they run it 3 times, try to bleed the clock. That's the smart thing to do. Didn't really work out for them. And then we drive down for a last-second field goal. Yeah, that's pretty realistic, right? A minute for the Bills to get down the field, even without timeouts. That's not the hardest thing in the world with the talent we have. And the Bills are world champions. It feels like they've been so close for a few seasons now. The injuries are all right. We did lose a lot of the OGs. Poyer's gone. Micah Hyde's gone. Matt Milano's gone. And the running back situation is a lot different. And the O-line is better. It's younger, but it is definitely better. Some differences, some changes, but still kept Von Miller and a lot of the other guys like Ed Oliver, Rousseau, and Edmonds, and Trey White, and, a bunch of different guys are still intact. So, getting the ring for the guys that matter a lot to us. And finally knocking the Chiefs off their throne a little bit and really showing that this AFC is something else. Tua for the Giants. I mean, all-time performance here. Come on. 211 yards for Knox. We threw a little bit to him, but we didn't throw that much to him. That was all Knox and Sim, baby. That's one of the best tight end games I've ever seen in Sim. Ed Oliver was great, of course. I mean, just think about the fact that we almost let Ed Oliver go. I almost did. If we would have had, let's say, $6 million less, Ed Oliver would have been gone, and who knows? Who knows if we even, win the Super Bowl here. But we did. We're going to take a look at how the team progressed, and as much as I would like to do a dynasty, maybe will in the future, I want a shorter rebuild for once. We won the Super Bowl. That is all I can ask for. Let's take a look at these overalls. So Diggs, even though he was regressing, actually got himself back up to a 98 overall with just playing really well. Very sick. He is awesome. Let's take a look at Gabe Davis, who's still only star dev, but he had some really good seasons after that first year here. Short routes a little iffy, but deep, medium, release, catching is all really, really good. What else do we have? Josh Allen, obviously a 97 overall. Freakily good. 99 throw power. Medium's a little iffy, but deep is insane. Short is insane. Throw under pressure. All those other non-accuracy ratings, all in the 90s, high 90s as well. Super speedy with the abilities of, gunslinger with that. I would imagine good throw style as well, which is crazy. Let's take a look at Knox, who is now an 89 overall, 91 speed, 88 excel, 85 spec. Very solid route running. Obviously, deep route's not great, but who cares? It's a tight end. You don't really need deep route for them anyways. Offensive lineman, Avila. He was a really good draft pick for us. Obviously, his pass block finesse kind of sucks, but he is so good already. He's only, 24, I think it was. Very good stuff. Kemp, he's actually pretty decent for us. He went up in overall pretty well. Obviously, the power blocking sucks. Maybe put him at tackle instead, ironically enough. as the smaller guy. Obviously, he's pretty hefty, but his height is low. Steen, not great, but he's a good power blocker. That's all you could really ask for. And then Bull, ironically enough, not really a bull. He is big, but he's not super strong. He's 86 strength. He did upgrade a little bit, but yeah, very good finesse blocker, which for once, actually the correct kind of blocking. Normally it's, power at tackle and finesse at guard, but anytime I had an upgrade, especially after a trench boost scenario, I tried to do what I could to upgrade him, but obviously it wasn't perfect. Diabate, 82 block shed. Really didn't hear his name much. He was just kind of a role player. Edmonds, 93 overall at 27 years old. 90 block shed, 76 zone coverage, and near 99 tackle, near 99 pursuit, and very solid player. Obviously, catching's a little lacking, but still can catch him, obviously. Hyde didn't start his rookie year. Second year, solid player with that 79 block shed. Zone coverage is 68, which is still lacking, but super young with superstar. Plenty of time, believe it or not. Robinson, a guy we definitely have not talked about much. 80 zone coverage only at 24, whereas, what's his name? Was it Glover? He never started once, and he's got 80 zone coverage, I believe, and, he's obviously normal, so, honestly, going forward, I'd probably start Glover over him. And then what else do we have? McKinney, he's an 86 overall. What do we got cooking here? He is 87 zone coverage. Speed never went up, sadly, but it's not like we had him that long anyways. Never went up. It's like you've had him for like a year. Like, relax. But power move, 97 for Rousseau. 85 block shed. Very talented. This D-line would be hard to do anything against. You can't run block against him. You can't pass block against him. They're ridiculous. Ed Oliver, obviously, normally he's a block shed guy, like I said, but 89 power move with 84 block shed. This is one of the better build Ed Olivers I've seen. And, of course, with that, actually one of the better performing Ed Olivers I've seen. Obviously, we've seen him a lot in our rebuilds. Mike Morris, more of a block shedder than power move guy, but he's pretty damn good at 24. Worth the pick, and with that dev at star, he's finally kind of coming into his own. I don't really want to show McCreary too much. I guess I'll show him. He was a backup the majority of his career here, but 85 man coverage, no zone at all. And then I suppose Trey White was already kind of good, so it's not really point to look at him, but wow, he's insane. And I'm kind of curious just to see, is Von Miller going to retire, which if he does, even better reason to call it, which I don't know if he will actually. He might actually stick around. Like I said, it's super hit or miss. Once you hit 35, you just don't know. Trent Williams sometimes goes, or a lot of times goes year one, and then sometimes you have him for 3 or 4 seasons, so don't know how that's going to go. Let's take a look at Von. Is he still here? I didn't look at our overalls. I don't know if it went down or not. Slay retired, and he did. So the perfect ending to this Buffalo Bills rebuild, as he has retired after 15 years on top of the world as one of the greatest pass rushers ever. And we got ourselves a ring. That's about it. If you guys enjoyed this one, maybe leave a like, subscribe if you're new. If you're not new, really appreciate your continued support a ton. Maybe check out the second channel, Picare Plays. Been doing Hogwarts Legacy, obviously, and I believe later today, maybe 7 p.m. Central Standard Time, I will be posting again there. No main channel upload tomorrow, but 100% Hogwarts Legacy over there as well, so maybe back-to-back days. And if you have any ideas for rebuilds, let me know in the comment section below what you'd like to see, whether it's a regular realistic style, a fantasy style of, like, I don't know, the Packers, we make the craziest trade ever with Rodgers, and, we just go crazy. Fantasy draft style where it's like, spin the wheel of, I don't know, ages. I've talked about that. I probably will do that at some point, or some other idea. Let me know in the comment section below. Follow me on Twitter, Jeromepkr. And I have kind of had like mini breaths for the last 10 minutes here. I'm going to die. So before then, hopefully you guys come back for next video. But until next video, see ya.